So, hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. So, today we're joined by an epic guest. We're joined by Karna Shinde who's an angel investor, and he has a very interesting journey. Like, he was a lawyer, I guess, first, and then he came into angel investing. Like, he comes from a line of lawyers, and then he got into angel investing. So, Karna, can you just kind of share with us, like, how did you get started in your angel investing journey? And, like, yeah, if you could just share anything on that front, I think that would be great.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm a lawyer by qualification. And, while I was growing up, I was always told that, you should be like your work should not feel like work and you should be happy doing whatever you're doing. So earlier, and I was never really happy. And then my childhood friend introduced me to Promaxo. So that was my first startup that I invested in, like in USA. And then one thing led to another, and I have personally invested in 8 companies in USA, one in Dubai, one in Singapore. So what I'm doing right now, it makes me happy, and it doesn't feel like a job. So what I was told as a child, your work should not feel as work, and you should enjoy doing it. And I thoroughly enjoy doing what I'm doing right now.
That's amazing that you've kind of found this profession that or something that you can do that doesn't feel like work. It feels like play essentially. So just talk us through like how do you find work that feels like play? Like any tips, strategies, like anything that you can share with the audience today?
So, like I invest in companies which are my version of disruptors. So, what I mean by disruptors is, like what Apple, like the iPhone, did to Nokia or BlackBerry, or what like the iPod did to the Walkman. So basically, my childhood friend, as I mentioned earlier, the company that he introduced me to, it's a portable MRI machine which does live interventions. And I have been an MRI machine. A lot of my close friends, and then my other friends like parents, people in my family have been affected by cancer. So there's another company that I invested in. It's a simple blood test. So the simple blood test shows whether the person is going to get cancer 3 to 4 years in advance. Because a lot of the tests right now, they detect cancer like after it's already there in the person's body. Maybe stage one, maybe stage two, maybe stage three, maybe stage four. But this blood test, we target like through something that everyone has in their blood. It's called hepsin. So through floating hepsin, we get to know whether the person's going to get cancer in the future. So we don't know what type of cancer, but it is, like a marker which like tells us, hey, listen, uh, so maybe this person has to change his or her lifestyle. Maybe give up smoking, maybe give up drinking, maybe become vegetarian, maybe work out. So the insurance companies like really love us, because when someone falls sick, the insurance payout is very large. But over here, we are preventing cancer from even starting. So, we are doing something good as well. And, the insurance companies love us as well.
Yeah, it's super cool to hear how you kind of channelized your pain points kind of as on someone on the other side of the table as somebody who was like facing these issues kind of, and you channelize that into your angel investing as well, and that's pretty cool to hear. And also I like your investment focus on like health and like med tech and stuff like that. So my next question is more like uh how do you kind of find these disruptor companies? So you talked about like how you were looking to back these disruptor companies, but like how do you actually go about finding these good companies and these good founders to back?
So, I have this like good set of people who like guide me and advise me and like mentor me, who have been in the industry for like 25, 30 years. So they guide me. And like in the Bay Area, the 50% of the world startups, like they come from the Bay Area. The Bay Area, I mean like the San Francisco region. So that's why I spend 6 to 9 months of the year in San Francisco. So they guide me, and so I get like various proposals, invest in like various companies. So I invest in the person. So it is very important to invest in the person, how knowledgeable he or she is, um, what kind of technology he or she has developed. So so first is the person, and there is a technology. As you know, without taking any names, all of us have read it in the news. Investors have backed certain companies, and instead of using the money to develop the product, the person has gone and bought a Ferrari. That that's crazy. So I don't appreciate that. I don't like that. Um, so that's why it's very important to know the person. So all the companies that I have invested in, I know the founder, the president, the CEO personally, and I know where the money is being used.
I think that's a good metric to actually personally know the person and who and know that they are have skin in the game and they're able to do something with the money that is not funding their own personal goal but actually going to help the company. I think that's super interesting. And talk us through like this mentorship and guidance aspect. Like a lot of people watching today, they might be college students, they might be like founders themselves or VCs or aspiring people, and they want to know like maybe how to get like in touch with some mentors and how to get guidance on say something that they're trying to work towards. So like what would you suggest, like how do you suggest that somebody can get these mentorship and guidance?
So see, it's very important not to be in a hurry. So basically, you know what your goal is, and then you work towards your goal, but don't be in a hurry, because like all of us, I have also met some bad people, So our mistakes, like whatever the mistakes I have made in my life, they teach me, and we learn from the mistakes. So that's why I take it slow. It takes about 3 years to actually know what kind of a person he or she is. So 3 years is a very crucial time, and I have observed, in all the mistakes that I have made, the person shows his or her true colors in the first year or the second year. That's why 3 years is a very crucial time. And so once you find the right person, so there's a very old saying, which I follow. It is actions speak louder than words. So if someone is saying something and doing something else, that's like a big red flag. So I have observed that, like some of the founders, like everyone loves praises, right? But this has been my journey. When I was young, who doesn't like compliments? So they would compliment my clothes, they would compliment my shoes, they would compliment my watch. Oh wow, it's so amazing, And as a child, when I was growing up, child in the sense like younger than what I am right now, I sort of like, oh wow, man, this guy is complimenting me, so he really likes me. I'm like, wow, like let me invest in this company. So that is like a big red flag when someone is complimenting you like nonstop, like flattering you nonstop. And instead of that, like there's another experience that I've had, with my mentors, my advisors, like who I'm working with, like currently, they don't say much, you know what I mean? They're very silent. They don't wish me on my birthday. They don't wish me for like Diwali or New Year's, nothing, because that doesn't matter. But when it comes to performance, and when it comes to like, walk the talk, they do it. And that's what really matters to me as an investor. That, hey, listen, it really doesn't matter to me if you wish me on my birthday or not. But if you're saying something, you deliver that, I really appreciate that. Then, some people saying that, oh, wow, like, wow, you're so good looking. Wow, what an amazing shirt, what amazing shoes, what amazing watch. And then behind your back, they're bitching about you. Because I have had these experiences, these same people are like bitching behind me. So it was like a learning experience. Life is a learning experience. So yes.
For sure. And I would love to get into maybe what is some of your green flags in founders. Like, what could you say on that front? Like, you're talking about red flags, and now I'd like to kind of shift into green flags as well. Like, what are some things that come top of mind?
So, it is for the green flag, it's very important, what kind of like educational background they have, what kind of people they are, like very simple things, how a human being treats animals and staff is very important. So just because someone has money, it is not right for you to ill-treat someone just because they're working for you. So that is so like my green flag would be, so the people, how they treat other people, what kind of educational background they have, what kind of technology they're developing, why are they developing this technology, what is their like end goal. um, so there's another company that I've invested in. We don't get any updates. And there's another company that I've invested in. We get quarterly updates. So the quarterly updates is very important. Whether you are a big investor, you're a small investor. Just getting quarterly updates. That, hey, listen, like what's happening. With the company that I've invested in. What's happening with my money? So if there's silence from the other end, that's again like and if they're like a red flag. But if someone is updating you continuously, being in touch with you continuously, that's a green flag. So just to summarize, like how they treat people, educational background, their knowledge, regular updates on the company, just being transparent.
I think transparency is key, and that's also a thing that I'm trying to do with myself with the podcast. Just trying to be as transparent as possible. And so, just talk us through these updates. So you'd mentioned that a green flag for you would be like seeing these updates from your portfolio companies. So how should one structure it from an investor perspective? Like, how should a founder structure their updates? Like, what would you want to see in an update that would like make you have more optimism for that company?
So the quarterly updates that I get, it has got to do with the development of the company, like how it has progressed, how many sales we have had, what are the next goals. So that is like normally mentioned in the updates. So see, I'm a strategic investor, so apart from me investing my own money, anywhere I can help the companies grow, I do that. So I've got a good network. I'm blessed, to know some good people. So I help the companies that I've invested in, any way that I can help them grow, I do it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like you seem to be such a giver and such a helper of the for the ecosystem and for the founders that you back. So that's amazing to hear. And I'd love to kind of now get into the magic of SF. So you said you spent some few months in SF every year. So talk us through like what is it about the SF that like draws you to keep coming back? And yeah, what could you share for some young builders out there that want to move to SF or that are already in SF and want to make something big?
So, see, like in San Francisco, like you hear certain negative things, which are there, but you look at the positive things. You always look at the best side of a person, or the city, or like the scenario. And USA is such. It really attracts a lot of talent. If you see all the say like top say like 20 companies which are there in USA, and you see like the CEOs, they are mainly of like Indian origin. So without taking any countries' names, it gets very hard to do certain things in certain countries. Um, they're not appreciated, they're not respected. There is a lot of lot of corruption. Like things move very slowly, but that is not good with regards to like USA. It is a normal person without any backing from the family. They can grow and progress faster in USA than any other place like in the world. And the Bay Area is such, it attracts a lot of talent globally, and you have all the top talent. 50% of the world startups, as I mentioned earlier, come from the Bay Area. So there's something about that region, and how the government nurtures it, the universities nurtures, the hospitals nurture it. So like this, there's these technologies, okay, which come out of certain universities. So the state gives them money, like funds them to develop it. Then the universities themselves like help them develop it. Then now, since I'm talking about medtech and biotech, there are hospitals close to these universities in that state, like help develop the product. Now, you tell me which other country offers that ecosystem. So, it is very rare to find. And that's what I love about USA. Agree the taxes are high, but just keep that aside, see the pros and cons like everywhere. But if you talk about a startup ecosystem and how a normal person can like progress in that ecosystem, I say, USA is the best.
Amazing, amazing to hear your optimism. And let's end with that. And like now, I'd like to get into like you sharing a bit about how the audience can reach you, how they can pitch you, or like whatever you want to share. Like now's your stage.
Yeah, so my email is kds@kdsglobal.in. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, feel free to send an email. And it is very important, that we meet in person. Because as I told you, first I invest in the person. It's very important for me to know the person. And second is the technology, you know. So I invest in disruptive technologies. That how do we make the world a better place?
Amazing, amazing. Honor and pleasure to host you on the podcast today.
Lovely. Like, thank you so much, for giving me the time. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I appreciate you for your time as well. Thank you so